Section 1. Flight Controls. 1. What is one purpose of wing flaps? A. To enable the pilot to make steeper approaches to a landing without increasing airspeed. B. To relieve the pilot of maintaining continuous pressure on the controls. Or C. To decrease wing area for vary the lift. Question again, what is the purpose of wing flaps? The correct answer is A. To enable the pilot to make steeper approaches to a landing without increasing the airspeed. Question number 2. One of the main functions of flaps during approach and landing is to A. Decrease the angle of descent without increasing the airspeed. B. Permit touchdown at a higher indicated airspeed. Or C. Would increase the angle of descent without increasing the airspeed. Question again, one of the main functions of flaps during approach and landing is to C. Increase the angle of descent without increasing the airspeed. Question 3, what is the purpose of the rudder on the airplane? A. To control yaw, B. To control overbanking tendency, or C. To control roll. Question again, what is the purpose of rudder on the airplane? A. To control yaw. Question number 4, which is not a primary flight control surface? A. Flaps, B. Stabilator, C. Ailerons. Question again, what is not a primary flight control surface? The correct answer is A. Flaps. Question 5, the elevator control movement around which axis? A. Longitudinal, B. Lateral, or C. Vertical. The question again, the elevator controls movement around which axis? Correct answer is B. Lateral. Question 6. Which statement is true according to primary flight controls? A. The effectiveness of each control surface increases with speed because there is more airflow over them. B. Only all three primary flight controls move in sequence to the airflow and pressure distribution change over and around the airfoil. Or C. Primary flight control include aileron, rudder, elevator, and trim systems. Question again, which statement is true concerning primary flight controls? Correct answer is A. The effectiveness of each control surface increase with speed because there is more airflow over them. Question 7, which of the following is true concerning flaps? A. Flaps are attached to the leading edge of the wing and are used to increase wing lift. B. Flaps allow an increase in angle of descent without increasing airspeed. Or C. Flaps are high drag devices deployed from the wing to reduce lift. Question again, which of the following is true concerning flaps? The correct answer is B. Flaps allow an increase in angle of descent without increasing speed. Question 8. Which device is secondary flight control? A. Spoilers, B. Ailerons, or C. Stabilizers. Question again. Which device is second flight control? The correct answer is A. Spoilers. Question number 9. Trim systems are designed to do what? A. They relieve the pilot of the need to maintain constant pressure on the flight controls. Or B. They are used during approach and landing to increase wing lift. Or C. They move in the opposite direction from one another to control roll. The question again, trim systems are designed to do what? A is the answer. They relieve the pilot of the need to maintain constant pressure on the flight controls. Next question has to do with aerodynamic forces. Question 10. The four forces acting in an airplane in flight are A. Lift, weight, thrust, and drag. B. Lift, weight, gravity, and thrust. Or C. Lift, gravity, power, and friction. The question again, the four forces during an airplane in flight are A, lift, weight, thrust, and drag. Question 11. When are the four forces that act on an airplane in equilibrium? A, during unaccelerated level flight. B, when the aircraft is accelerating. Or C, when the aircraft is at rest on the ground. Question again, when are the four forces that act on an airplane in equilibrium? Correct answer is A, during unaccelerated level flight. Question 12. What is the relationship of lift, drag, thrust, and weight when the airplane is in straight level flight? A, lift equals weight and thrust equals drag. B, lift, drag, and weight equal thrust. Or C, lift and weight equal thrust and drag. The question again, what is the relationship of lift, drag, thrust, and weight when the airplane is in a straight level flight? The correct answer is A, lift equals weight and thrust equals drag. Question 13. Which statement relates to Bernoulli's principle? A, for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. Or B, an additional upward force is generated as the lower surface of the wing deflects air downward. Or C, the air traveling faster over the curved upper surface of an airfoil causes the lower pressure on the top surface. Question again, which statement relates to Bernoulli's principle? Correct answer is C, air travels faster over the curved upper surface of an airfoil causing lower pressure on the top surface. Next question has to do with angle of attack. Refer to figure 1 below. The acute angle A is the angle of A, incident, B, attack, C, dihedral. Question again, the acute angle A is the angle of B, attack. Question 15. The term angle of attack is defined as the angle between the A, chord of line, wing, and relative wind, or B, airplane's longitudinal axis that of the air striking the airfoil, or C, airplane center line and the relative wind. The question again, the term angle of attack is defined as the angle between A, the chord line of the wing, and the relative wind. Question 16, the angle between the chord line of an airfoil and the relative wind is known as the angle of A, lift, B, attack, C, incident. The question again, the angle between the chord line of an airfoil and the relative wind is known as the angle of B, attack. Question 17, the angle of attack of which an airplane wing stalls will A, increase if the CG is moved forward, B, change with an increase in gross weight, or C, remain the same regardless of gross weight. The question again, the angle of attack at which an airplane wing stalls will C, remain the same regardless of gross weight. The next question deals with stalls and spins. Question 18, as altitude increases, the indicated airspeed at which the given airplane stalls in a particular configuration will A, decrease as the true airspeed decreases, B, decrease as the true airspeed increases, or C, remain the same regardless of altitude. Question again, as altitude increases, the indicated airspeed at which a given airplane stalls in a particular configuration will C, remain the same regardless of altitude. Question 19. In what flight condition must an aircraft be placed in order to spin? A, partially stalled with one wing low, B, in a steep diving spiral, or C, stalled. Question again, in what flight condition must an aircraft be placed in order to spin? Correct answer is C, stalled. Question 20. During a spin to the left, which wing has stalled? A. Both wings are stalled. B. Neither wing is stalled. Or C. Only the left wing is stalled. Question again. During a spin to the left, which wings are stalled? A. Both wings are stalled is the correct answer. Question 21. How will frost on the wings of an airplane affect takeoff performance? A. Frost will disrupt the smooth flow of air over the wing, adversely affecting its lifting capacity. B. Frost will change the chamber of the wing, increasing its lift capability. C. Frost will cause the airplane to become airborne with a higher angle of attack, decreasing the stall speed. Question again, how will frost on the wing of an airplane affect takeoff performance? Correct answer is A. Frost will disrupt the smooth flow of air over the wing, adversely affecting its lifting capacity. Question 22. Why is frost considered hazardous to flight? A. Frost changes the basic aerodynamic shape of the airfoils, thereby increasing lift. Frost slows the airflow over the airfoils, thereby increasing control effectiveness. C. Frost spoils the smooth flow of airflow of the wings, thereby decreasing lifting capacity. Question again, why is the frost considered hazardous to flight? The correct answer is C. Frost spoils the smooth flow of air over the wings, thereby decreasing lifting capacity. Question 23. How does frost affect the lifting surface of an airplane on takeoff? A. Frost may prevent the airplane from becoming airborne at normal takeoff speed. B. Frost will change the chamber of the wing, increasing lift during takeoff. Or C. Frost may cause the airplane to become airborne with a lower angle of attack at a lower increased airspeed. Question again, how does frost affect the lifting surface of an airplane on takeoff? The correct answer is A. Frost may prevent the airplane from becoming airborne at normal takeoff speeds. Next question has to do with ground effect. What is ground effect? Question 24. A. The result of the interference of the surface of the earth with the airflow patterns about an airplane. B. The result of an alteration in airflow patterns increasing induced drag about the wings of an airplane. Or C. The result of a disruption of the airflow patterns about the wings of an airplane to the point where the wings will no longer support the airplane flight. Question again, what is ground effect? The correct answer is A. The result of the interference of the surface of the earth with the airflow patterns above an airplane. Question 25. Floating caused by the phenomenon of ground effect will be the most realized during an approach to land when A. Less than the length of the wingspan above the surface. B. Twice the length of the wingspan above the surface. Or C. Higher than normal angle of attack. Question again, floating caused by the phenomenon of ground effect will be most realized during the approach to land where at A is the right answer, less than the length of the wingspan above the surface of the earth.